What is up, guys? This is Josh the Gamer here, coming at you with a brand new video. So today we're just going to do a quick video for the Quorum game engine. This is going to be the first tutorial in a around 50 tutorial video series. Why is this tutorial series going to be 50 plus videos long? Well, in the game engine there's a lot of stuff to cover, and I simply want to spread them out. I want to spread the concepts out, for easier consumption of the information, because this is kind of a beginner's type deal, I guess, for the game engine. So yeah. Anyway, let's get started with the subject of this video. And this video is going to be on understanding frames. Now, what exactly is a frame? Well, a frame is pretty much a still image. And pretty much, many frames being flipped through rapidly will create the illusion of movement. So, for example, when you're watching a movie or a TV show or playing a video game or whatever, those are made up of frames. Pretty much a bunch of still images being flipped through very, very quickly in order to create that illusion of movement. However, movies and video games have a very big difference with frames. Games pretty much work with frames. They pretty much generate the frames on the fly. They are not predetermined by a director like a movie or TV show. A game has to generate a frame on the fly depending on the state of objects on the screen, such as when a key is pressed, or when a game state is changed, or something like that. It has to update those frames on the fly, because you never know what exactly the user is going to do. Whereas frames within a movie, like I said, are predetermined by the director. Now, the game engine, or any game engine for that matter, will display its frames pretty much at a certain rate, and this rate is what's called a frame rate, or your frames per second. This number is pretty much dependent on your hardware within your system. So, for example, if you have a really high-end computer, like with the latest and greatest Intel or AMD processors and the latest and greatest in GPUs from AMD or NVIDIA or EVGA or whatever company, if you have the highest end stuff, you're very likely to get a lot higher of a frame rate, depending on how much is going on within the game. Because another factor of frame rates is how much is going on the screen. So, for example, if we look back at Super Mario Sunshine on the Nintendo GameCube, for example, the final boss fight, there's a lot of lag in that final boss fight. Why? Because there's so much going on in that fight that the GameCube can barely keep up with it. So it has to run at a slower frames per second whenever that happens, because there's so much going on that the hardware can't process everything right away. And that's kind of what lag is. It's the inability for the computer to handle specific calculations or displaying images or whatever the case may be quickly enough, because there's so much that it has to do at once. Now, some of the uses for frames are for internal game timers and for updating game objects. Um, you'll find out, you will kind of understand how they're used for updating objects when we actually get into the code of a game in Quorum. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Um, now, they are also used for calculating time between each frame. And this is pretty much used for like movement and stuff. Again, when we get into the actual code for a game, you'll kind of understand a little bit more on how that's actually implemented and used. So yeah, that pretty much will do it for this tutorial, guys. If you have any questions about about frames or anything like that, feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section down below this video, so I can see it and I can get back to you. And if somebody who understands it more can get to you faster than I can, then by all means, I always accept help in the comment section from those who are knowledgeable in the same area as I am, to kind of help out. So anyways, guys, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all in the next tutorial, where we will be going over the anatomy of a Quorum game main class. So see you all in the next one.